Good morning, everybody. So this week we've been celebrating Morpeth Diversity Week. And in this week we've looked at lots of different types of diversity. We're a very diverse school body in terms of teachers, in terms of students, and in terms of our community at large. And this week I've really enjoyed having the chance to understand more about that and understand about the differences we have with each other and see how these differences can kind of make us stronger when we accept and celebrate them about each other. And one of the things that's really struck me in preparing for Morpeth School Diversity Week was the blog entries that I had sent to me as part of the Whole School Challenge. I was moved to tears, frankly, and really inspired by the things that some of you were writing. It showed me how much diversity matters to you too, and how much it's appreciated by the students and the staff at Morpeth School. So it doesn't mean to say that these two won, but these two lines really struck me from these two entries. So firstly, Amir, who's now in Year 9. If there was no diversity, there would be no community. Without diversity, the school would be like a piece of paper with no writing or drawing on it, like a blank page. You know, how beautiful is it once you've got something written or drawn on there? And secondly, from Louisa, who's now in Year 8. Diversity is our religions, it's our origins, it's our differences, it's what makes us beautiful. And I love this idea of diversity being something beautiful, something to celebrate, a way that we can lift each other up, even with our differences, or because of our differences. Other things I've really loved about doing in this week is the Intertutor Kahoot that lots of you got involved with, and the different activities you've done in your classes and the discussions I've had with my students too. So thank you so much for everything you've done this week for School Diversity Week. And it's not something that we like park and then say, oh, let's do it again next year. It's something that can run through what we do all year round as we learn more about each other and find ways to celebrate each other's identities more and more. And one person that really struck me when I was preparing for School Diversity Week was the man you can see on the screen now. He's called Masin, and he wrote a book, which you can find in the school library. There's a few copies of it. His memoir to sort of coming to accept parts about himself that he felt he couldn't to begin with. And he actually grew up in a Muslim household. He's actually a Shia Muslim. So those of you who've learned about that in religious studies, you might learn a bit about his type of Islam a little bit more too. And he came to the acceptance that he was gay when he was at university. He actually went to Oxford University. He was the first person, I think, from his secondary school, which is in Walthamstow in East London, to go to Oxford University. So that was a huge achievement. And now he actually sits as a governor on that school's board to try and encourage more students from his, from his community to be able to reach those heights and go to things like Oxford University. And now he works as a very successful barrister, lawyer in central London. And he took a while to come to terms with the different parts of his identity. And then he came to see them as a real strength about himself. And now he works really hard giving, he speaks to workplaces as well as schools and things like that to help people to celebrate the different parts of themselves. So have a read of that if you can, grab it in the library. But I'd like him to explain in his own words to you now the different parts he feels there was of himself. And he's going to speak about some of the more negative things of like when you can't accept different things about yourself or when you feel like they can't be accepted, and the importance he thinks there is for us to have open conversations about this and the link that that has to mental health. So I'll let him explain in his own words for you next. Please get involved with more things for School Diversity Week next year, and come and ask me for if you have ideas for things that we can do. Let's keep this as an open conversation, and thanks again for all your contributions and ideas this week.